Good morning, students. So, after the detailed process of the pollen grain, now next is we have to discuss about the megasporangium. Megasporangium, as you know, that is we are going to discuss about now the female part. So, in case of plants, the female reproductive part is known as gynoecium, right? This is known as gynoecium. And second, we have to discuss now about the structure of megasporangium, that is also known as ovule, right? So what we are going to discuss today is detailed structure of ovule. Now if we said that the female reproductive part is known as gynoecium, so if gynoecium is with one pistil, if there is only one pistil in gynoecium, then it is known as monocarpillary. The term is known as monocarpillary. If there are many pistils are present in the gynoecium, then that is known as multicarpillary. Clear? So these two terms you need to know first, that one pistil monocarpillary, many pistil is known as multicarpillary. Now if multiple pistils means multicarpillary condition, if multiple pistils are in free condition, that condition is known as apocarpus. Apocarpus we use for the free condition. If they are fused, then that is known as syncarpus. So syncarpus, syn word is usually used for the fused condition, syncarpus condition, right? Now if you draw the diagram of a pistil, then as you can see, it has a swollen portion, right? It has the uppermost portion which receives the pollen grains, then it has swollen portion which is known as the ovary, and slender portion is known as the style. So it has three main parts, that is stigma, then there is style, and the swollen portion is known as ovary. Clear? Now style can be two types, because this is the portion, stigma is the where pollen grains we are going to receive. So style in be two types, it can be hollow, it can be have little spaces, or it can be solid like this. If it is hollow, then it will have epidermal cells, but it will not be completely filled with epidermal cell. It will be little spaces inside it. But if this style is completely filled with all the epidermal cells or epithelial cells, then this is known as solid style, right? So after this, let's start with now the detailed structure of ovule, right? So we have to now talk about the detailed structure of ovule. Ovule, as you can see that ovules, where are those ovules? They are present inside the ovary. Here you will find ovule. So ovule is attached. They are not present in like free condition. They are attached to tissue. They are attached to ovary wall, I will say, with a tissue. With that tissue is known as placenta, right? If this is ovary, then here there is present tissue to which ovule is attached, and that this tissue, this kind of tissue, this is known as placenta. This tissue is known as placenta. Now, because we are talking about the flowering plants, so in angiosperms, the ovule is, which kind of ovule is present in angiosperm is, that is anatropous. Anatropous means upside down. That now we will discuss the structure, so you will get more clear that what is upside down. Ovule is basically ovule, where it is going to attach, it is attached to wall of ovary with the help of, I already told you, with the help of tissue that is known as placenta. Now there is one another point for you to note down, that arrangement of placenta, this arrangement of placenta to ovary is called placentation. This is called placentation, means that how they are arranged, right? How that is arranged in the ovary. So let's talk about the now detailed structure of the ovule. As you know that it is attached with the help of a tissue which is called placenta, right? Now from placenta there is a knob like structure, there is a stalk like structure which is called funicle, right? And this is known as body. This is funicle and this whole other portion is known as body. So we can label it here that this is funicle, F-U-N-I-C-L-E. And what is this? This is placenta. Clear? Now this body has layers to protect it, right? So this is protected with the layer, and those layers are called integuments. So these layers, they are called integuments, right? So you can little bit it is not that much wide, so make it little less wide. So these are the integuments. Now this is outer integument and this one is inner integument. Clear? So these are known as integuments, protective layer around the body. In angiosperm, the ovule is bitegument. You can note it down that in angiosperms, the ovule is bitegument. Bitegument means how many integuments? It has 2 integuments, right? Integuments, it has 2 integuments. So now this is completely, if you talk about this, inside the body there is a mass of cells. So inside this body there is it is completely filled with a lot of cells, and this mass of these all are diploid cells, and this mass of cell is known as nucellus. This mass of cell, we are calling it as nucellus. So inside the body, in the center, it is filled with diploid cells and called nucellus, right? Now tissue of now which is micropylar end and which is chalazer end. Now as you can see, that place from where integuments are arising, place from these integuments are arising from the upper side. So this is like this, they are moving like this. So this is called, this end is called chalazal end. And end where there is a small opening, that is called micropyle. That is called micropylar end. Clear? So you can note it down also. This point you need to note it down. Note it down that a place from where, you can note it down, that place from where integuments arise, that is called which end? That is your chalazal end. And play the end which has small opening, that is called micropylar end. Basically towards where all the cells, nucellus is arranged, right? Now, there is another point that this tissue of funicle, this is the tissue of funicle. Now, we can label it, right? We can shade it. Now, this tissue of funicle is sometimes stretched over the body. This tissue of funicle that is stretched over the body, and that stretched part here, it is stretched till this portion. So this stretched part is known as raphe, 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 right? And the place where funicle is attached to body means this place. The place where funicle is attached to the body, that is known as hilum. So this is our hilum, right? So you have to note down 2 points, what is raphe and what is our hilum. Raphe is tissue, basically tissue of funicle, it is stretched. So when tissue of funicle is stretched over body part of ovule, that is called raphe. And hilum, what is hilum? It is the attachment, it is attachment or that place where funicle is attached to body. Basically where funicle is attached, that is called hilum. Clear? Now when this structure, because this whole structure of ovule is going to transform into seed. If we draw the structure of a bean, then what a structure bean usually look like? It has 3 scars on it. Now first scar is known as micropyle, clear, ending portion. The second is hilum, where funicle is attached. And third, the stretched part over the body is known as raphe. So these 3 scars are visible in the seed. These are seen in case of seed. Now if seed has less nucellus, the center portion, as you can see that this portion is known as nucellus. So if seed has less nucellus, if ovule has less nucellus, then that ovule is known as tenunucellate, right? If there is plenty of nucellus, then that type of nucellus is known as crassinucellate. So these terms are given on the basis of content of nucellus. So these tenunucellate and crassinucellate, they are given on the basis of content, how much nucellus is present in the ovule, right? Now if nucellus is left even after formation of seed, if nucellus is still there in the ovule after the formation of even seed, then that is known as perisperm. Clear? So what here, which things you have to remember here now? Listen carefully that how many, which things you have to remember. So these are your key points we are going to discuss now. Key points. First, type of ovule, anatropous, right? Now, what happened here is that one cell of nucellus become larger in size, right? One cell of, out of so many cells, one cell of nucellus, it get the nutrition and get enlarged in size, and where it is present towards the micropyle end, so it become enlarged in size, and now it change into MMC. You are already now know this term, because in microsporangium we discuss here. So here it is known as megaspore mother cell, which is diploid. So if you have to draw it, what is this is your nucellus, which is filled with all the diploid cells. Now out of all these diploid cell, one become bigger towards, this is micropylar end, and this is called now MMC. And MMC will undergo which division? Meiosis, and will produce megaspore. Clear? So that is in today's video, that is structure of ovule. In my next video, I'm going to discuss about the development of female gametophyte.